Hello, my name is Daniel Tuttle, and today I have a presentation for cybersecurity. It's just the basics of cybersecurity, cybersecurity 101. I go to Detroit Mercy, of course, as a cybersecurity major with computer information systems. So what we're going to talk about today is what is cybersecurity. So there's more slides on that to come, but we're going to mention about cybersecurity, cybercrime facts, the threats to cybersecurity, browser safety, mobile devices, and then personally identifiable information and how to protect it. And yeah, we're going to talk about firewalls, protecting yourself online. We're going to dabble in the fact of the facts and statistics of the cybercrime itself, how to be safe when browsing on anything. VPNs are a big thing that we're going to talk about today, and just using trusted sources and making sure you have everything installed that you need to for antiviruses, ad blockers, everything like that. So what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity, the written definition of it is cybersecurity is the practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks or threats. So we're going to talk about how to prevent it and how to protect yourself online in later slides, but learning the written definition of cybersecurity is a big thing too, just so you know. It's a very broad definition, this one, but we have more slides on cybersecurity itself. So it's very important. Cybersecurity in general is very important if you're doing anything online at all. Even a slight amount of cybersecurity could save all of your life if you do it all online. A lot of people do online banking nowadays. Yeah, you need to know a little bit of cybersecurity to be successful online at all. It could save all of your money, all the time that you put into anything online could be saved just from a little bit of knowledge in cybersecurity. And yeah, there is so much to cybersecurity, and the average person doesn't know too much, but it's so easy to learn the basics, and you're going to learn the basics just from this presentation. You're going to learn a little bit. You're not going to learn everything, of course. I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything about cybersecurity, but you will learn some of the basics today. So this is where I would ask you if you guys need to know any questions. I could try to answer them. Yeah. So let's talk about some cybercrime facts. So first off, employees bringing in their own outside device into a work site can pose one of the largest threats to data safety. That is not only for the employee bringing their cell phone in, or any outside device that is, but that could be not only for them, but also the employer and the work site. If the employee has malware on their device and bringing it into the work environment, that can ruin the entire network infrastructure of the job or the work site. 91% of phishing attacks begin with email phishing. So what is phishing? Phishing is basically an email that mocks sort of a real email from a trusted source. So if you got an email from, let's say, Apple, from the real Apple, the email would look and seem, and the whole email itself would look legitimate. But from a phishing attack, there would be something off about it, unless they are very good at what they are doing. But in some cases, for our example here, Apple would probably recommend that an actual source would end it in iCloud. Maybe in a phishing attack, their email would end in Yahoo or Gmail, which wouldn't really seem legitimate for an Apple email going to you. That is if Apple even needed to email you in general. But that's what phishing is, really. And Chainmail is another type of email attack. It's so what chainmail is somebody emailing you saying you need to email this to, let's say, 10 other people in order to be safe, or you will be hacked. And that will get that email around, going to many other people, and it's just misleading you, and they're just trying to get attention. But yes, businesses need professional protection against viruses and spam email, which is, phishing, chainmail, all of that. So many businesses don't have any type of protection against this, because you can't protect it too well, because anybody could make an email and act like they're somebody else. But there's still some ways to prevent that by like making it known what the email would look like, confirming even in person if they got the email, if the employer was sending out a legitimate email. And yeah, so that's some cybercrime facts for you guys. And we do have some more here. So in 2016, 95% of the breached records came from only 3 industries. I couldn't grab the name of those industries for some reason, but the 3 industries that the records were breached from were multi-million-dollar industries, which means those industries lost tons of money just because they either didn't have protection, or they were very large industries that just happened to get attacked. 43% of cyber attacks target small businesses. So 43%, that is a lot. That is almost half targeting small businesses, because small businesses 9 times out of 10 will not have any cyber security. Like, they will be super easy to breach for even a mid-level hacker, and then all of those small businesses could just become nothing. And even since the COVID-19 pandemic, the US FBI reported a 300% increase in reported cybercrimes, and this was all just because everybody was at home during COVID. A lot of people tried to start up some small businesses during COVID, and they all got hacked by people who were also home looking to do the same thing, but in a very bad way. So, some cyber attack facts. On average, there's a cyber attack every 39 seconds, and these are all throughout the day, going through every age group. A lot of times hackers like to target older people because they do not know nearly as much. Well, I don't want to say that, but a lot of the older groups do not know much about cybersecurity as the young people do, because young people grew up with technology and it was just sort of second nature to them. Cyber attacks are also the fastest growing crime in the US. This overtook every other crime growth rate, which is insane, all because it's all online. There's videos on YouTube even on how to hack into stuff, which is not good, and the videos should be taken down. But you can go anywhere on Google, you can learn how to hack into stuff. More than 77% of organizations don't even have a cybersecurity incident response plan, which is a scary high number. There's so much importance of having cyber defense ready and an incident response plans ready to be used and maintained all throughout a company's lifespan. And then, if there's any questions on cybercrime, you guys would be able to ask. Now, of course, because of the pandemic, we cannot do this presentation in person. So, browser safety is another huge thing on cybersecurity. VPNs are the biggest thing in browser safety, and most of cybersecurity too. So VPNs, that stands for Virtual Proxy Network, and they are the most useful tool available to anybody while online. Some are free, some you have to pay for. Some good names there's ExpressVPN. You do have to pay for that one. I think that one is fairly cheap. There's NordVPN. That one is very trustworthy. I've used it in the past. You do have to pay for it, but it is very, very good. And then there's also BetterNet, which is a free VPN. So what a VPN does is it changes your IP to, or it changes your IP to other people. If you are browsing online, or if somebody somehow tracks your IP, they will track the one given to you by the VPN, not your actual IP. So it's very, very helpful. A lot of times when you get a paid VPN, you can actually pick what your new IP would look like, where it's going to be hosted out of, and that could be helpful for some uses. And a lot of times in the free VPNs, it just throws you somewhere. Sometimes it'll put you in Canada if you're downriver like me. Canada, down south, different country, and then your speeds on the VPN won't be as fast at all. Yeah, so free VPNs, they're not the smartest to use because a lot of them do use your data and they sell it. But if you just need a VPN for a quick moment and you need to use a free VPN, you're not going to be disappointed. It'll still do the job. And odds are maybe they won't sell your data, but 9 times out of 10 they probably will. So security softwares like antiviruses and ad blockers, they are very, very easy to install, very easy to use. Google makes an extension called ad blocker. Well, it's on Google, it's not made by Google, but it's just an extension. You download it and turn it on, and then you will not get ads on anything. That's helpful because sometimes ads can lead you to malware if you click through all over the place. The same goes for antiviruses. McAfee, Norton, all of these are very trusted, very reliable antivirus softwares for blocking potential malware. A lot of these go through not only on your desktop, but they also go onto the browser, and they can double for the desktop and the browser, blocking malware all over the place. And yes, there are also some firewalls for browsers. It's not the most common thing, but it's basically just an antivirus, but for the browser. And then here's where I would ask questions on browser safety, of course. So on mobile devices, your phone could hold more data than your PC does. It all depends on how often you use which, and it depends on what you use what for. A lot of people do banking online, and most people do it on their phones. They do it on their phones just because of the conveniency of it. Now, phones are not safe to use for mobile banking or for online banking because your mobile device is very open and vulnerable to a lot of malware and breaches. And protecting your data on your phone is very crucial in cybersecurity because of the lack of security it has. And passwords are also listed all on your phone if you save them there, which a lot of people do just because they don't like to lose their passwords. But mobile devices are just way too easy to hack. They're too vulnerable. There's no antivirus software on mobile phones by default. So malware can be on a phone just as much as a PC, if not more. It all depends on how much you use which one. But VPNs on mobile devices are very essential, just due to the lack of security alone. They are very, very essential. And I pay for a VPN just for my phone. It does double on my desktop over here, but I paid for it in the first place because I needed it on my phone, because I do not trust a lot of browsers on my phone. And then questions. And then lastly, personally identifiable information. This is another very, very important thing in cybersecurity. So your PII, personally identifiable information, is stuff like credit card numbers, social security number, your street address. It's really just things that should be protected in general. You need to protect your credit card numbers just by using them on an occasion. Don't let other people use them, because they could easily just take a picture of the front and back, and then they could do just about as much as you could. And then you're going to need to wait until they make a big purchase, and then you're going to have to contact your bank, and there's a lot of hassle that goes through with it. Encrypt your data if you can. Many softwares can do it for you, but you just need to actually put the time in and encrypt it all. And encrypting data it's not anything too difficult if it means your data can be saved. It's very smart to do for an important document. You should also be avoiding phishing emails or anything of the sort. Phishing, chainmail, any type of email that it doesn't seem legitimate, you should just ignore. Because if they really need you, they'll just email you again. If it's a legitimate email, they'll just email you again or contact you in person. Yeah, so once again, phishing emails, it's a fake email trying to look real, and chainmail, they're just trying to get attention by you sending the email to 10 or so other people, and then those 10 other people have to send it for another 10 people, and it just drags on and on. You also want to be very wise about which Wi-Fi you connect to if you don't know who owns or administrates that Wi-Fi, because there are many fake Wi-Fis set up in public places where there is free Wi-Fi, and it makes it look like it's the free Wi-Fi's name, but then you connect to it and it's actually somebody else's who they set up in there to lure you into going onto their network. And when you're on their network, they have all of your information. They have your entire phone, they have your entire PC, laptop, everything they could possibly ask for. And this is really bad if you do mobile banking, anything with your credit cards, online, any shopping. If your passwords are listed on your phone, they could get all of those. It's very bad to connect to Wi-Fi if you don't know who's administrating it. And this is, of course, questions for PII, personally identifiable information. And I'd just like to thank you for your time. And yes, thank you.